Hello viewers, welcome to Core for Any. Today we need to see this here the Node.js inside. Need to develop here the card document list API. We need to develop here. Need to similar to here the personal documents API, but we to need this here the some modifications. So need to give this here the user car ID and to this related to get this here the car related service. We need to documents are missing or not. So need to identify here. First of all, need to write down here the post methods. Need to again explain how to work this here the API. Need to create against API slash car document list, and now need to get here two parameters callback. First one is the request and second one is the response. Need to get like this here the callbacks functions. Now first of all need to print this here the request body. Now first of all need to save this here the request object inside this body. Dot body. Now first of all need to check this here the access tokens are to validate. If users are the valid, then to callback returns here the user objects. Like just to write down here the functions. To write down here the check access token. Use this here the request dot headers. So need to pass here first parameters, and then after need to give this here the response object, and now need to get here the user object like here returns. Now we need to check here the helper dot check validates parameter validates. Now need to give this here the response objects, give this here the request object. Now need to pass here the verify key names, user underscore car ID, and validates need to get this here the callback functions to get here's like here's. Now we need to write down here the gets documents query. We need to write down here first of all. Need to set here db dot query. Create here the double quotes. Now need to pass here the parameters. Then after need to return here the first ones callbacks. Inside first parameters are the errors. Second parameters need to get this here the result. And to write down here function operators like here's. First of all need to write down here the if gets any errors, then to call this here the helper dot throw html errors. First parameters to give this here the error object, then after response object need to pass and to return this error the response for the errors. Now need to return here. If gets any results, then to write down here the like down here if result dot length, and need to check this here the more than 0, else parts response object dot JSONs, set here the status, give this here double quotes inside the 0 means spell. Now need to display here the message. Write down here the please select here any one zone or and anyone service provider. Service type. Like this need to write down here. If gets here the success, then to return this here the response dot JSON, and we need to write down here the status. Set here the 1, and now need to write down here the payload. Set here the results. Like this we need to write down here. Now we need to write down here the query. First of all need here the select, and we need to set here the prompt to give this here the user detail table, and to give this here the alias ud. Create here the another inner joins needs here need to join with the join list. As need to give this here the ZL and write down here the on methods ZL dot zone ID equal to need to write down here the UD dot zone ID. Also need to check here the zone status ZL dot status is equal to needs here the one. Need to like this need to set here conditions and conditions to bind this here the UD dot user ID is equal to give this here the specific users need to this valid users need to give this here the user ID. Now first pass need to first parameters here user object dot user ID at the set here for these parameters. Now another inner joins need to join shares need to zone wise documents need to set here zone documents inner join set here zone document set here ZLD write down here the on methods need to set here the ZLD dot zone ID equal to ZL dot zone ID. Like this, you need to set here the conditions and you need to write down here the end conditions. Set here fine it set. Also need to give this here the ZL dot service ID slash UD dot select service ID brackets over more than 0 and to write down here the end conditions ZLD dot status active set here the 1. Now another join inner joins need to set here and to show this here the service details. Write down here the inner join to write down here the service detail as need to give this here the SD and to write down here the on method write down here SD dot service ID is equal to write down here ZLD dot service ID. Like this need to write down here and to write down here the end conditions SD dot status set here the active means 1 like this write down here and then after need to write down here the another inner joins for the gets here the document informations inner join write down here document and give this here the alias as a D and to write down here on methods D dots and to write down here and insert here the brackets that here more than 0 and to check here the doc ID and we need to give this here the ZLD dot sound document that here card and need to set here the end conditions D dot status means active is equal to set here the now need to write down here the another lab joins need to set here linking with here the lab joins zone wise donk link as set here zwdl. Write down here the on methods need to check here zl dot need to check here on document id is equal to need to set here the zdl on document underscore I. Also need to set here the end conditions zwdl dots to pass here user car id. Set here the question mark and zwdl dot status doc status not equal to deleted means once. And another joins need to write down here lab joins and to configure this here the driver documents. Let's write down here the lab join driver document as need to set here the ed and to write down here the on methods. So need to set this here ed dot driver document id underscore id is equal to zwdl dot driver document id with link this years and also need to write down here id dot user id is equal to ud dot user underscore id. Write down at the end dd dot status not equal to once means deleted not deleted. Like this set here the query and also need to pass this here the users request object dot user underscore car id need to pass this here the parameters. Now we need to copy here the this list need to need this here for the documents copy here and now need to paste here this list. Both are the same but to difference here the document test status and to another give this here zwdl dot zone link id and add zwdl dot to set this here the doc status. Add here these lines need to add this here two columns for the card document list inside. Other things are the similar to this year's only this query inside the add here the another tab joins and to change this here the conditions because we need to explain here the previous video but we need to again need to write down like this query and it only explains. If you like this video please give the thumbs up. If you're new user so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any questions, so please write down the comment sections. I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.